Hi, this is Abdul with my 2 days commentary on some news headlines. Yesterday, I was not able to record this because yesterday there was no internet for the whole day. There was some local cable cut, so I could not check internet for the complete day. It was restored night. So today we start with Trump. He is back in the headline, but his rally in Tulsa was kind of flopped. And one TikToker claims that they were one of the reason that uh, the rally was almost have a empty arena. It was almost 50% of the capacity, so it was much under the anticipation. There was some anticipation that maybe a lot of people will not come because of COVID-19 and other reasons, but Trump should not be believing that it should be this much lower uh, attendance of his rally. But let's see. Bolton is also talking whatever he's talking, and this may also put a big setback on Trump's wishes of winning the election. So let's see. CNN poll shows stark racial divide in Britain because the white people thinks that there is no much racism in Britain, but the black people they think otherwise. They think that there is racism in British areas. So racism is a big debate everywhere now, and I believe that everyone, all the big people, they should uh, think about it because this may decide the fate of the government people as well. I mean, if you want to be re-elected, uh, then for example, like Trump, now he's using this racism in a different way. I mean, he don't want to end the racism because he feels that this will take down all of his white support. So it depends. I mean, what kind of area you are in and how you tackle the situation. So, like Trump is delaying sanctions on Chinese officials. So everything with regard to China, even Trump has to think twice. So now Japan is changing the status of a disputed island, and this will also be bring some tension between China and Japan. So riots leave dozen injured in Germany. So everywhere something is happening. Fiji is planning to create a post-coronavirus travel bubble. So it will try to keep the travel within its neighbors only, like Australia and New Zealand, because if you allow everyone from the world to come to your place, then you get more chance of like what they are seeing that even in China and other countries which have put a kind of end to corona, but still corona resurfaces because of the people who start coming from the other countries. So, I mean, you can easily, or not easily, but you can curb it in your own area. But if you will allow people to come from outside, then it will be a kind of different story for you. So this is one of our good stories. UAE architects make cement out of salt. We know that UAE is a very big producer of desalinated water because they don't have fresh water, but they have a big Gulf. They have a lot of sea water, so they desalinate a lot of water for consumption. And because you desalinate, so you get salt out of it, and that salt, some architects, they are trying to use that salt as a kind of cement, because they found that that salt was really used in some very ancient times as well. So they are trying to reuse the ancient technology, and they want to make a cement kind of thing with the help of this salt, because it has a lot of minerals that can work as a bonding agent, because the salt also, it bonds the thing together. So if you can make the bonding, then this is what you need. So this is how, I mean, because this salt which is being produced, this is becoming a real big problem for UAE as well, because they cannot throw it back in the sea, because the ecosystem of the sea will change, and they cannot store it anywhere, because wherever they will store it, it will also become a biohazard. So now this looks to be a kind of very good win-win situation, win-win solution for them. So let's see, and let's hope that these tests, now basically the people who are doing this, some PhDs from some universities in Abu Dhabi, now they want to make the scaling thing. I mean, they have made the initial tests, but how it will be done. So this is what is required now. So let's move to our second news channel. America's fuel record surge in virus case. So WHO records 183,000 new cases in 24 hours, the highest one-day rise, largely driven by Brazil. So a lot bad things are happening for COVID, and a lot of people like this, Bulgaria's Gregor Dimitrov, he plays this Adria Tour events, and he has tested positive. So during this event, we don't know how many people he may have transferred and how many will survive. So COVID is making things difficult for everyone, and travel is the most hit part, because if still up till now traveling is not easy. And these kind of post-COVID stories, that I went from comfortable salary to absolutely zero, these kind of stories are will also start haunting us, because now we are, you can say that we are not even in the post-COVID era, but we can call it a post-COVID as well. I mean, like, COVID has come, so the other things that COVID will bring, like unemployment and low GDPs and low travel, and everything should be low. So we will go in a depression or depressed economy. So, and a lot of other things are also happening at the same time, like too much rains in China, like this banana epidemic. There's a fungi which is killing banana in very big countries, like 20 countries which were producing a lot of bananas, and this fungi is killing banana. And like here we see this very old post not changing, but these locusts, they are also wreaking havoc in Afghanistan, India, Pakistan. So a lot of things happening, and let's see. We'll have to raise our children differently. Yes, in every era there is a difference. I mean, so it's not like that we are only going to see some, like for example, the people who were raised during the world wars. It was also a different story for them. So every era has a difference. Here in order it says that more than 50,000 deaths in Brazil, and Pakistan saw 4,500 new cases. So in China, they are disinfecting the meat food research center in Beijing, and there's a couple who is working and helping the poor in the Shaanxi province. China Laos Railway second largest tunnel is drilled, and Japan completely lifts domestic travel bans, and a lot of foreign investment is coming to electric vehicle sector in China. So China is flourishing, and Hong Kong society welcomes draft law and safeguarding electoral security in Hong Kong. So China is playing good everywhere. Beijing doubled its capacity for testing people, but still cases are coming in Beijing as well. But a spotlight is on US. There's a lot of new cases in US. So China has a spotlight on US, and US has a spotlight on China. So this China's 600 km/h maglev train. So China has tested a train as well. 600 kph, too much. So new cases are coming in China, in Shanghai as well. And this yellow alert for rainstorm. Rainstorm are also a problem that are China is suffering nowadays. But apart from this, China generally shows a very steady and very growing kind of atmosphere, that everything in China is going fine and fine. So let's go to Aljazeera. US coronavirus deaths near 120,000, a big number. North Korea promises retaliatory punishment for the South. So North Korea is not going to let the South stay safe and peaceful. So EU-China summit to cool tension over coronavirus and Hong Kong. So China is going to provide some relief to EU for Hong Kong takeover before time. I don't know what was the hurry. So could Egypt and Turkey go to war in Libya? This I did not go in detail. I mean, if Egypt and Turkey want to do some war, why don't they do this war in their own country? I mean, Egypt should attack on Turkey and Turkey should attack on Egypt. I mean, why they want to fight a war in Libya? What is what these people living in Libya, what wrong they have done? I mean, why they are to be punished? It's very strange. A lot of countries, they are fighting proxy wars in different countries, like Iran and Saudi Arabia. They are fighting wars in Yemen and Syria, and US is fighting proxy wars in all of the world. I mean, they did not leave even any part of the world as safe because of their proxy wars, but they never let any war comes to the US. So the US Americans, the Black Americans, has to do something to so that they also taste some war kind of scenarios. But generally, and this is what we say, that whatever you sow, you will reap someday. You are fighting proxy wars in different countries, and then one day the war comes to your home in some shape. So why you want to, if they want to fight a war, they should try to fight it directly. I mean, So a lot of barter trading is going on in US. So when you are earning, for example, 10, 15, $20,000 a month, and suddenly it goes down and you are out of cash, then this is what you have to do. I mean, so a lot of barter trading is going on, and I was reading this article. It was very nice article. So it says that even they are doing it not because of Corona. They were usually doing it. I mean, someone, for example, if someone is making a barbecue, he will trade some of his barbecue with some of other guys for other grocery kind of things. So barter is also a good thing. I mean, it's a very old way of trading, but it's because it's also kind of win-win situation. For example, you're cooking something and you came to know that you have cooked some extra, so you gave it to someone else, and whatever he has extra, he will give it to you. So it will be a win-win for both of the guys. So barter is also good for us if it is used properly. So let's go to our last writers. So there is no big thing on writer, but same stories which are everywhere. China's annual dog meat fair opens. So activists hope for last time, but I don't agree with activists because it's China. They like to eat dogs. So what can you do? I mean, they like to eat bats as well. Still, I mean, a lot of corona happens, but still they will eat the bats as well. So what can you do with them? So you can just wish and pray that they don't do what they are doing. So stocks try to shake off second wave virus fears. So stocks cannot shake it off on their own. I mean, American Airlines seeks $3.5 billion in new financing. Every time they get something from financing, I remember that they use most of the money to pay bonuses to their executives. So this should be checked. They should be under some kind of a scrutiny that this is not given to their big bosses. So ring of fire because of solar eclipse. Yesterday there was a solar eclipse and there was no internet for me. So I was just sitting in my home. I could not even go outside because you should not see this solar eclipse directly. So I avoid going outside as well. So it was a kind of full lockdown for me, and that also without any internet. So it was very horrible, horrible kind of day for me. So this I was watching this map. If we see here, there are some countries which I don't know why they feel that. I mean, like US. I don't know why the people and the government no one understand what does it mean. I mean, I'm. Uh, I mean, whatever I'm saying, I don't wish this, but with this, US has a population of maybe whatever 340 million or something like that. But this curve is declining on very low ratio. It can hit any number. I mean, it can go like this, so it can hit any number. It's if we extrapolate it, we can extrapolate it up to the US population. I mean, you need something of this. Even UK is getting better. Brazil is also following US in a more. Uh, this curve is more dangerous than this one because this is at least now it's tilting towards the right side. This is not tilting anywhere. It's exponential. Like this curve, they got a very high number, but then they were fine. The France is also fine. Spain is also looking fine. It's almost straight now. I mean, so Canada is Germany, Iran is also take. It looks that they are going to take off again, but middle of orbit. India is also in a bad mode, but like this Mexico, this is also going in the same steps. Why don't they follow these kind of things to make it flat and then make it flat so that at least you don't get a second wave and which may be more deadly. So we can see this Latin America. It's in a very bad situation. So I don't know. Here they show that North America is going fine now, but here this shows something else. These two maps, these two graphs, they don't look like to be from the same country. Like this is the US, this is North America, and the US is almost the same. I don't know where is Canada, how they removed Canada out of it. Let's find Canada. This is Canada. Here it is. So Canada also saw some peaks and then it also went down. So if Canada and US both went down, then why this graph is not showing it? But no problem. Let's see it in later days. But a lot of country like this, Bangladesh, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Mexico, then Peru, Russia, they are still enjoying the peak of it when some of the countries they are perfectly out of it, like France, Germany, Turkey is also almost out of it. So let's hope for the better. Uh, Indonesia, they went low and then they went high again. So I don't know. So let's finish today's news commentary, and our friend is back, and he's kidding on testing exposes his negligence as well as his spikes. So he's mocking everything. He's the mocking master. So let's meet tomorrow with the tomorrow's headline. So